Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about conventional or normal size mechanical keyboards versus low profile mechanical keyboards. We're going to talk about the key switches, the key caps, the feet on the bottom of the keyboard or risers. We'll talk about the board sizes between conventional and low profile. And we'll also talk about the different feels that you get from low profile versus a conventional mechanical keyboard. With that being said, let's jump into the video. If you clicked on this video, you're probably one of those people who types on a keyboard more than a couple hours a day. If you're like me and you type on a keyboard between 6 and 8 hours a day, you quickly start to realize that you need something that you're going to enjoy to type on. It's going to be ergonomically right for your wrists and something that's aesthetically pleasing for your desk. Today we're talking about low profile versus conventional keyboards. Now, what's the difference with those? Well, it all has to do with the keycaps, the key switches, the height of the board, and then the little risers underneath are the feet of the keyboard. And it also comes down to really how it feels when you're typing on it. And if you've heard of the differences between keyboards, then you probably know something called a mechanical key switch, which is a spring-loaded button that actuates when you push down on your keyboard. And those are found on mechanical keyboards, and it's either low profile or the conventional height keyboards. If you're typing on a laptop, then you're probably used to those little butterfly switches, which are just a plastic piece that you push down and it will actuate in a different way than mechanical keyboards. Let me know down in the comments what kind of keyboard you're typing on. Is it a laptop, a low profile, or conventional mechanical keyboard? So first I'm going to get into conventional keyboards. What are they? What do they entail? And why are they so popular? So conventional keyboards have the keycaps, key switches, the board itself, and the feet that they're sitting on. With a conventional keyboard, there's a lot of great things about it. For one, they're really customizable. So you can buy key switches, and if you have a hot swappable board, that means you can take out key switches that are on the board and put new ones in. Whereas with low profile, it's a lot harder to find hot swappable low profile keyboards. But I will show you one today. Now, what is a low profile mechanical keyboard? So a low profile mechanical keyboard, as you can see here, it has much smaller switches which actuate at a much smaller distance when you push them down. And some people say that they don't like the feel of low profile keyboards because it doesn't feel like it's in the same category. It almost feels a little bit more like a laptop keyboard or butterfly switch keyboard. But it all comes down to where you're coming from, what keyboard you've been on before, and just what your preference is for mechanical keyboards. If you want that long travel distance and that actuation point distance, or if you want something a lot shorter and maybe a little bit quicker. Another big difference about low profile keyboards is the keycaps. The keycaps, as you can see, they're a lot smaller, shorter distance, the stem is shorter, and the travel is shorter that way as well. One con about low profile keyboards is they come in different stems. There are a couple low profile keyboards that have these MX cherry stems. It looks like a plus sign, but it's really hard to find low profile keycaps like this. With low profile keyboards, they are a lot more ergonomic for your wrists just because they come in about half the height of a regular or conventional keyboard. And they also are a lot more portable, a lot more lightweight, and a lot more compact. So if you have something like an iPad set up with a mouse and keyboard, it's going to be a great option for you rather than using the Apple Magic keyboard. The K3 here is a great option for low profile. It's Bluetooth. It has hot swappable switches. So you can go from a really clicky noise key switch to something really quiet like a linear red. They have different colors. Now here is a typing comparison between a butterfly switch, a low profile mechanical keyboard, a conventional mechanical keyboard, as well as a MacBook Pro keyboard and a HP laptop keyboard, as well as a Dell laptop keyboard. Now you definitely get what you pay for with this keyboard. It's a really cheap Anchor Bluetooth keyboard. And when you're comparing keyboards and what things that you might consider, you need to think about what your environment is as well as what type of feel that you like on a keyboard. If you're somebody that types a lot, then you might want something that gives you a little bit more feedback so that you don't have to think so much when you're typing and you can just feel with your fingers if the key that you pressed actuated, and you'll be able to feel that more with the mechanical keyboard. So this is the low profile hot swappable RGB Bluetooth mechanical keyboard. It's a Keychron K3, and I'll put the link down in the description. It's definitely a great option if you're coming from something like a laptop or maybe using an Apple Magic keyboard or something like that. Or it might also be nice if you're coming from a conventional keyboard and you might just want something a little lighter and slimmer, something that has that option to have switchable key switches. I think it's going to surprise a lot of mechanical keyboard enthusiasts that have had kind of hard feelings about low profile keyboards because this keyboard has everything that you would ever want on a mechanical keyboard. I've been using this low profile keyboard for about 2 weeks now, and I've found that it feels a lot like a conventional mechanical keyboard, other than the fact that the keys, when you push them down, don't travel as far, and my wrists aren't strained as much when putting them on the keyboard because it's about half the height of my other keyboard. Here is my Velocifier M87. It has custom keycaps on it. It's a conventional size or normal size mechanical keyboard. This is something that a lot more people might be used to if they've had a mechanical keyboard. It has that louder clacky feel noise from the keycaps being pushed down and the key switches. This one has brown switches, which are a tactile feel, a little bit of a bump when you click them down, and definitely a great feeling keyboard. Okay, now here is a MacBook Pro. It's not the newest version, 2017, I believe. And this has the butterfly switch that Apple has created. It's really similar to those other cheaper keyboards that you can find, but a little more high quality. And it has a really low distance to push down, and it's also very quiet. And I feel like going from a mechanical keyboard to this Apple keyboard, it's actually a lot harder to type on now that I've had the change from a mechanical keyboard because it's such little actuation. It's hard to feel when you're pushing down the keys because they travel so little. But it also is nice if you want something really quiet and sleek. Another thing to consider when you're looking at keyboards is the layout. Do you want to have something that's a 60%? It only has about 60% of the normal amount of keys that a regular keyboard has. Or this one is a 75% keyboard. And then you can go all the way up to 104, possibly even more, but 104 with a number pad. Real quick, if you're finding value out of this video, if you're learning something, Make sure you hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. And subscribe. Let me know down in the comments if you have experience with mechanical keyboards and maybe not so much experience with low profile keyboards or the other way around. Let me know what you think. Do you think you could give the opposite one a chance? Also, let me know if you're on the fence about buying a new keyboard. What keyboard are you on? How come you don't want to switch, or how come you're thinking that you might need a new keyboard? If you're like me a few years ago, where I was typing on my laptop and I heard other people using these things called mechanical keyboards, I decided that MX Jerry Browns were the one to go with for a first time mechanical keyboard. And I went with something that was pretty inexpensive so I could understand what I liked. And I went ahead and made the purchase. As a final summary between the conventional and low profile keyboards, it really depends on just what you want to go with. But low profile are a lot slimmer. If you get a 75% layout like the Keychron K3, then you have a much more compact and travel friendly keyboard. It's also really nice because the keycaps and the key switches combined make a really short keyboard so that your wrists aren't strained. You have really nice ergonomics that way. And to be able to have a wireless Bluetooth keyboard, you can switch between 3 different devices and be able to charge it with a USB Type-C cable. And as far as conventional mechanical keyboards go, you get that normal height keyboard and keycap, which you can be able to find a lot of custom keycaps to be able to customize your keyboard how you like. And you'll be able to find a lot of key switches if you have a hot-swappable keyboard. And you can change out between reds, blues, browns, or whites, blacks, oranges. There's all kinds of different key switches that you can put on your mechanical keyboard to make it feel exactly how you like. I went over a lot today. If you are new to this and you haven't had a keyboard like this before, be it a low profile or a conventional keyboard, put your thoughts down in the comments or questions that you might have. I can answer any of those questions that you have. Or if you've had a keyboard before, one of these mechanical keyboards, let me know which one you have. I'm going to continue to post videos a couple times a week on things like this. Let me know if you have any ideas on things that you might want to learn, and I'll try and include those in future videos. For now, I'm going to be sticking with this low profile keyboard for the next few months. Thanks again. Like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.